ballin'. Let me click over real quick to let my jag talk it. I eat, ooh, Pac-Man, that's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad, but I'm past that. But a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit, I'm glad. When the check missed the direct hit, I'm sad. Like, who's that knocking at my window? They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she in. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't getting too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday.
Coach, from the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 51 back in 2017, we are inside NRG Stadium in Houston. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Come on, set. 90, Wolf.
Hey, here we go. Hatchet. Check.
Get it.
On first down, it's Beal. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Partner, is that what you call a quick hitter? That was actually a bolt of lightning, wasn't it? Right out of the gate.
And, of course, on the heels of him winning AFC Offensive Player of the Week 1 week ago.
Here we go. 30 base.
You got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
Right back to him on first down. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Down. 60 or. Hey, orbit.
Mike 50. Get ready. 50's the mic.
Second and 11. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 41-yard line.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So first and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 41. Now a give right side. Beal. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. Second down.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Two times.
Second and 10. For the left side, it's complete. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 13-yard line. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post Because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Check 26, check 26. Let go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Let's go now. 15 line. 15 line.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Now.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. From 8 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
And we're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll run for the first time with Hill. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. They'll try and run for it with Hill. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time. And now it's 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in Tampa. And the Bucs are out to an early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Check tight, check tight, check tight. Shoot, watch the shoot. Deuce. You go tight, you got tight. Hit it.
They'll run on first down. Hatcher, and he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On play action, they'll throw. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go. 50, plant.
Check Mike 50. You.
Yep.
Mike 50. Right here.
Get it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
From midfield, here's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
To try again after the sack. Allen going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Towards the end zone for Brown. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, team 6, team 6.
Be a long day for you. Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 50. 5 wide. Bandit. 53's the Mike. 53, check. 53.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little...
It's a foot race. 30, 10, touchdown, Houston. A big play there. With another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. Now the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And it's 3rd down.
Between 19.
53 is the mark. They're not ready for this, man.
56. Hey, echo.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Fielded at the 20. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Squeeze.
Rush in. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
Ready.
On 2nd down now, it's Beal. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is...
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To the shotgun snap to Allen. He gets it to Brown, complete. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Allen to throw it. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. First target, first catch, and a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 44. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. Now a 10th carry for Hill. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Allen off the bootleg. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. Allen. And that will be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
I don't think you got it, son. Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Check your backer, check your backer. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
They'll keep it on the ground. Beal. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Rock it.
Shoot. Check nickel.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Set. Turn too soft. Hey, exit.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Hey, 4 down.
Snap.
They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. And it's taken in at the 9. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win. His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. In his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminated.
To throw again on 2nd down. Allen. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Woodward. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And spins away. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. His career rushing numbers just continue to rise with that last carry. He surpasses 12,280 yards and also surpasses Marshall Faulk. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
So now an important conversion attempt here as the Bills line up to go for 2. From the gun, it's Allen. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Beal, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It goes as a loss of 6, and now 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll drop the throw. And a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On 1st down, Beal. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They'll keep it on the ground. Beal. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. It's Beal, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. So that'll back them up 5. The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. This is fielded at the 7. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Back to throw. He'll find Metcalf. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, 7.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Texans, they'll hit double digits with their 10th win of the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Jaguars will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Bills, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the